how did the Rolling Stones get their name? According to Keith Richards, it was the former guitarist Brian Jones who came up with the name in a rather accidental way. Sure, we all know the phrase, "a rolling stone gathers no moss," and yes, that had something to do with it in that the phrase was part of the inspiration of a 1950 Muddy Waters song called Rollin Stone. Now, the original proverb has a literal truth in that moss needs an unmoving environment in order to form, and one of the easiest ways to get an idea of how long stones or trees have been in the place is to look at the amount of moss that has formed on them. As a proverb, it can be taken in two ways, though. The basic idea that if you keep moving and never settle down, you won't accumulate anything is usually taken to mean that you will never amass any wealth or have a settled career. The other possible meaning is that you will never have any responsibilities, such as home or family, but will remain clear and unencumbered. Either way, the saying associates the idea of a roving lifestyle with both freedom and a certain lack, be it of possessions or relationships. But before all that, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards had originally started a group called the Blues Boys, but met up with guitarist Brian Jones, drummer Charlie Watts, and keyboardist Ian Stewart, who were occasionally playing in a well-known collective called Blues Incorporated. The future Stones eventually formed their own group, leaving Blues Incorporated to carry on, and when Blues Incorporated was offered a BBC radio session, they needed someone to stand in at their residency at the London's Marquee Club, and Jagger and the boys jumped at the chance. Now, though they were just filling in for the Blues Incorporated, the gig was big enough for the local jazz magazine to cover the event and reached out to the band for some information about the upcoming performance. They spoke to Brian Jones about it, and during the conversation, they asked, "What's the name of the band?" Imagine that. This new band that was stepping in for Blues Incorporated didn't have a name. So, thinking quickly, Brian Jones spotted a copy of the 1959 compilation LP, The Best of Muddy Waters, lying on the floor. Side 1, track 5, was called Rollin Stone. And Brian, without missing a step, told them the name of the band was the Rolling Stones. That one night has lasted 60 years now, and the Rolling Stones name is synonymous with rock and roll, rebellion, wild living, and every other kind of establishment rocking behavior you can think of.